Yeah, hi, this is Mike Smella. I'm going to go over real quickly the two ways that the Worth account leverages uh, different vehicles to drive the debt payoff down. So let me go to this slideshow real quick here, and I'll scroll through a lot of this to get to where I want to get to make this quick and simple because that's the way we want to do it. All right. So when Worth started back in 2005, 2006, it we needed an equity line of credit as the vehicle to drive the program, and it was used strictly to pay down mortgage debt. Since then, the software has been expanded greatly. Again, they've put over $10 million worth of research and development into the math algorithms and the software into this because they realize that people not only have mortgage debt, but they've got student loan debt and business debt and credit card debt and vehicle debt and all kinds of debt. And also that obviously to get to more and more people, we also needed to have the ability to not leverage lines of credit because not everyone had the ability to get a line of credit. And especially with the crash back in 2008, lines of credit basically disappeared. So we moved way, 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 way more and gives us greater expansion right now in order to market to virtually anyone who has a checking account and a savings account and has debt that they want to pay off. Again, one of the strategies is strategic debt payoff. So if let's say we've got a client, excuse me, that has these debts here. You've got a credit card balance, you got a furniture loan balance, you got a mortgage, you got a trailer loan, you got an ATV, and maybe an auto loan. And maybe instead of this auto loan, maybe that's a student loan or something, whatever. Two, three, four, five. So they've got six debts, which is a lot, but you know what? There are people that have a whole heck of a lot more than that. So in again at the beginning, we wouldn't all we would have been able to do is pay off the mortgage, but we wouldn't have because these folks don't have a line of credit. So what we what the strategic payoff does is it looks at all of the characteristics of each debt, all of these components, along with the income, the expenses, and the banking of the individual to really leverage banking tools and rules to pay it down. Now, when we first started, and even now, if somebody does have a line of credit, I'll run through this real quick, is that if you've got a line of credit, how do we leverage the line of credit? Well, again, you've got a checking account, you got a line of credit, and maybe there's a minimum reserve that they want to keep in the checking account and the line of credit. So the income goes into your checking account. Again, we leverage and we learn how to take that income and apply it directly against the balance on the line of credit. Income comes in, again, drives that line of credit down. All of a sudden becomes an optimal transfer point for the software to say, go ahead, borrow from the line of credit to strategically pay down your debts. Which debts is it? I don't know. I'm not that smart. That's what the software does. Okay. So this is kind of the cash flow that we use with a line of credit. And again, if somebody can get a line of credit now, they can still leverage that. But what are those situations? Because there are vastly larger numbers of people that don't have a line of credit or don't have access to it, but they do have, excuse me, they do have a checking and savings account. So the thought process with the checking and savings account is we want to build up additional savings. We want to, again, leverage all of the math involved in their financial world, so that we've got, again, the checking account and savings account. And the clients also, and this is a part I love about it, and the clients can put in a minimum reserve. They want to maybe say that, hey, I don't ever want to have less than $400 in my checking account, or I want to keep at least $3,000 or $4,000 in savings. Or it will help them to build up savings to a point that they say, look, I don't have any reserves at all. Let's use the software and use the Worth account to build up the savings before we pay off any debt. And we never want to use, we want to keep a minimum of $2,000, $3,000 in savings. and we never want to use that toward debt payoff. So again, income comes in. Software, again, will recognize that there's a certain amount that we need in the checking account, but then it'll also tell them to strategically allocate X amount of dollars into savings. So it builds up the savings. Income comes in, again, strategically put it in so that we've got additional savings. At an optimal transfer point, again, this is where the software will then kick in and say, okay, let's leverage the amount in the checking account to pay down the strategic amount based off of, again, whatever works at that point in time. So the line of credit is leveraged as a way to borrow the bank's money to pay down that debt, and then use your income and expenses to offset the cost of that loan. On the line of credit side, the checking and savings method works to build up savings and then at optimal points apply toward a strategic debt payoff. So that's how that works. Again, hopefully that will give you a better idea of how that we're able to use virtually whatever financial tool that the clients have to leverage their ability to rapidly get out of debt and then ultimately end up safely building wealth. So hope that makes sense. Excuse me. That's the number to call for a free analysis. My name is Mike Smela. My direct line is area code 248-705-4456. Again, 248-705-4456. Thanks.